Okay, Jim, so today I will be teaching you how to size axillary crutches to your patients, and then once they're sized, also how to teach them all the different gait patterns, okay? So to begin, these are axillary crutches as they go under your axilla. And when you want to measure them to make sure they fit your patient, what you want to do is have them standing, hands at their sides, and then the crutch will be about 2 inches lateral of their lower extremities and about 6 inches forward, okay? And then once you have them in this position, you want to see the distance between the top of the crutch and their axilla. So you should have between 2 to 3 finger spaces. Any less than that, the crutch will be too tight and it's going to be shoved up against the patient's armpit, which you don't want. And you also want to make sure to tell your patients and your aides to never lean on the crutch like this, because you have a lot of blood vessels and lymph nodes in your axilla, and you do not want to be putting a lot of pressure on that, okay? So once you have all that figured out, and then you want their hands to be gripping the bars here, and then what you want to look for is to see if their elbows are in about 20 to 30 degrees of flexion, okay? So once you have the crutches size for your patient, you want to begin teaching them all the different gait patterns. So I'm going to be starting with the 2-point gait pattern. So what that is they are going to have 2 points of contact with the floor at any given moment. And what it's going to look like, you are going to be basically putting one crutch and a contralateral foot forward at the same time, and then you're going to be walking forward again with the other crutch and the opposite leg. So you're going to be walking like a regular walking pattern, and what it's going to look like is 1, 2, 3, 4. So just a regular walking pattern, except you are moving your crutch with your contralateral leg at the same time, okay? And you want that for patients that you are pretty confident can put weight bearing on both their legs. So for patients that are non-weight bearing on one leg, or maybe just even partial weight bearing, and you don't want them putting a lot of weight on their affected leg, you can teach them a 3-point gait pattern. So what that will be is you are going to have 3 points of contact with the floor at any given moment. And for example, like if say I were a patient and this one, my left side, is partial or non-weight bearing, what you want them to do would be to put their crutches forward and then hop along on their good leg, and to either keep their bad leg, swinging, or maybe put a little bit of, weight bearing on that. So crutches, hop, okay? And then the last one I'm going to be teaching you is going to be called the 4-point gait, weight bearing, 4-point gait pattern. And you can probably guess you are going to be having 4 points of contact on the floor. So this one is very steady, but it requires some coordination, so you might not want to teach this to patients that have learning barriers or learning difficulties, okay? So what that's going to look like is you are going to be basically moving one crutch and then the opposite leg, and then the other crutch and then the opposite leg forward, okay? So it's going to be looking like crutch, foot, crutch, foot, crutch, foot, crutch, foot, okay? Now, for patients that maybe they have paraplegia, so then for those patients, you want to teach them, you have 2 options. You can teach them a swing to gait pattern or a swing through gait pattern. So I will be teaching you swing to first, and basically what you want to do is, as the name implies, you are going to be swinging, so your legs are going to be swinging to the crutch, but you do not want to land past them, okay? So what it's going to look like is crutches, swing, crutches, swing, like that, okay? And then the last one is going to be called a swing through gait pattern. So as you can guess, you are actually going to be swinging through the crutches and a little bit past. And for that, you want the patient to start off in a position of lumbar flexion, and then once they swing through, they're going to end up with their lumbar extensions. So what it's going to look like: crutch, swing, flexion, swing, extension. Okay, got it? Okay then, let's move on. Hi Jim, how are you feeling today? Good. Okay, so I understand you recently had surgery on your left hip. Now the doctor left you some instructions on what not to do. Do you remember what they were?
No, I don't.
Oh, that's okay. Let me just go over them with you once more. So basically, they don't want you bringing your left leg towards the midline, down the middle of your body, and they don't want you to be internally rotating. So it's going to be this motion. Basically, they don't want you to be bringing your leg towards that direction at all. Okay, like no turning it that way. And last but not least, they don't want you to be bringing your lower extremity up past 90 degrees of flexion. So none of this, none of that. Okay? Any questions for me so far? Okay, so for today's session, I want to get you sitting up, and then I actually want to try a little bit of walking with you today. Okay? We're going to be using a gait belt for safety, and you will be using this walker. I'll teach you, how to walk. And we're not going to be going very far, probably just up to that mat, and then we're going to turn, come back, and sit back down. Okay? All right. So first things first. Belt here. Okay. So can you just go ahead and put your hands on the mat for me, please, and just push up a little bit, not too far forward. Okay? And then I'm going to be holding on to this left leg for you, and can you just go ahead and spin towards there? Slow. So there we go. Turn. A little bit more. Okay, perfect. Now, can you go ahead and slow this down? Okay, can you go ahead and just using your upper body and your arms, can you go ahead and push yourself towards the edge of that? Just go forward a little bit. All right. How are we doing so far? Good? Okay, if at any point during this session you feel any kind of pain or discomfort in your left hip or just anywhere else, make sure to tell me right away, okay? I don't want you to be in pain. So, I'm going to be putting this gait belt on you now for safety. Doing okay so far?
Yeah.
Your arms are supporting you, okay?
Yep.
All right. Okay, so the gait belt is going to be tight, but it's not going to be cutting up your circulation, okay? So, right now, it's like that. I don't want this hanging off, so I'm just going to do this. Okay, so before we walk with the walker, I want to teach you how to safely use it. So just go ahead and watch me. And since your left leg is the one that has surgery on, so basically you are going to be standing like this, and then you want your walker forward, and then step forward with your left leg. But I don't want you to be putting too much weight on the left leg, so when you're stepping forward, I want you to put weight through your hands onto the walker. That's what it's there for. And then step forward with your good leg. Okay? So, walker, left leg, right leg. Okay? And then when we're turning, it's going to be the same motion. Walker, left leg, right leg. Okay? You do not have to be making a turn right away. I'd rather you take small but safe steps. Okay? Any questions? Okay, then let's get this walker in front of you. And I might want you to stand up first and then get the walker. First, I don't want your leg to get injured. So can you go ahead and stand up? Push off with your arms. There we go. Ready? Okay, are we good? I'm going to be guarding you on your left side, okay? So, walker, left leg, right leg. Good. Walker, left, right, walker, left, right. Okay, Jim, we're going to begin turning now. Can you turn that way for me, please? job. And then keep going. Keep turning until you're facing the mat. There we go. One more step. One more. You know, you can begin to lean that way. Okay. Okay, so Jim, for going backwards, I want you to step back with your right leg, and then step back with your left, and bring the walk. Good job. One more small step, right, left, walk. Okay, doing good there? Okay, we are going to begin to sit, but don't do anything yet. Okay, let me just get the walker out of the way. And I want can you step your left leg forward like this? Okay, so remember your hip precautions. We don't want you to be, bringing your leg up. So I want you to go ahead and begin lowering yourself on your right leg while reaching back with your hands. And I'm going to be holding your leg. There we go. Perfect. Okay, can you scoot back using your arms? There we go. Okay, now we're going to begin lying down. So go ahead and turn that way for me. Good. Good. Turn. There we go. And go ahead and lie back down. And I'm sorry, I should have taken off your gait belts earlier, but let's just get this out of the way now. Okay, good job today. Yeah. Okay, Jen, so today we are going to be teaching you how to walk up and down a flight of stairs using quad cane. So, since these stairs are actually narrow, I actually want you to turn your cane sideways. That way you have all bases of support on the steps, okay? So, for going up a flight of stairs, don't do anything yet, just listen to me first. I want you to basically step up with your good leg, which is going to be your left leg in this case, and then follow with your right leg, which is your ankle leg, and then put your cane on. Okay, so it's going to be left, right cane, left, right cane. Okay, and then if you need support, you can always feel free to put your right hand on the handrails. Got it? Okay, so can I please have you go ahead and put your left leg up, and then your right leg, and then put your cane. Good. Do you need support? On the handrails? You're good? Okay, so then left, right, cane, and then left, right, cane. One more step for me, please. Towards the end. No. One more step with your. There we go. Toward the edge. Okay, let me get you. The one in front. And for going down a flight of stairs, you're actually going to be doing the opposite. So don't do anything just yet, but basically it's going to be your cane first, followed by your painful right leg, followed by your left leg. That way you can basically be shifting all your weight on your good leg while you're descending, so you feel more steady. And as always, again, feel free to put your right hand on the handrail if you need it. So go ahead and put your cane down. Good. And then right leg, job.